Here are today's top stories. The AFP says local peace talks are effective as more rebels surrenders to the government. PANGASA says a dry spell brought about by El Niño may last until August. The Senate and House begin discussions towards the passage of the proposed 2019 budget. And Baguio City is hosting a food fair where tourists can enjoy the best of Cordilleran cuisine.
Good day, I'm Rom Dulfo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Our top story, localized peace talks seemingly working well with rebel groups despite rants of Communist Party of the Philippines founding chairman Jose Maria or Joma Sison against them. Benj Bondok with the story.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines said the rising number of rebel fighters and supporters who surrendered to government forces since last year is proof that local peace talks are effective. AFP spokesperson Brigadier General Edgar Arevalo says more NPA regulars and their sympathizers surrendered due to the belief that they have been deceived by their communist leaders. AFP Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations Brigadier General Antonio Parlade Jr. earlier said the government is ready to finally end the communist threat through Executive Order No. 70 signed by President Rodrigo Duterte. EO 70 provides for a whole-of-nation approach in defeating the local communist terrorist groups. Meantime, the government continues to aid surrenderers through the Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program or ECLIP. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondok.
Negotiators from the Senate and the House met today to discuss contentious issues in the proposed 2019 national budget. The Senate and the House contingents met with a representative of the Department of Budget and Management or DBM in their hope to end the budget impasse. House Committee on Appropriations Chairman Rolando Andaya Jr. expressed hope that they could pass the spending bill before March 29. He says the House did not introduce amendments to the ratified version of the budget bill, contrary to the claims made by senators. Senate President Tito Soto maintains he will not sign an enrolled copy of the budget bill for the President's signature if the lower chamber insists on its last-minute amendments. The government has been operating on a reenacted budget since January this year, after Congress failed to pass the 2019 General Appropriations Act or GAA. The Interior Department says the Duterte administration remains committed to pushing for federalism. This after the President's disclosure that Moro National Liberation Front Chairman Nur Miswari threatened to wage a war if the promised shift to a federal form of government does not materialize. President Duterte and Miswari have agreed to form a panel that will study how federalism can be adopted in Mindanao during their meeting at the palace. DILG Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya says the Interagency Task Force on Federalism and Constitutional Reform expects to finish its work by June and that it has 3 years to convince both houses and the public to support federalism. The Interagency Task Force, led by DILG Secretary Eduardo Año, will resume the public advocacy campaign after the midterm elections. Authorities have arrested an alleged consultant of the National Democratic Front in Liliu, Laguna. The arrested NDF consultant is identified as Francisco Fernandez, who also has a standing warrant of arrest for murder. Hernandez was arrested along with his wife, Cleofe Lagtapon, and Gian Perez, who are also allegedly both members of the leftist group. Police and AFP operatives seized from the 3 short firearms, assorted ammunition, and various electronic gadgets, which they allegedly used for their extortion activities, and several subversive documents. The suspects will face additional charges of violation of the COMELEC gun ban. Over 100 Filipino crew members of a Norwegian cruise ship are safe, and this year's search for outstanding judges and clerks of court begins. More on these and other news around the metro from Benj Bondok.
The Department of Foreign Affairs says the 163 Filipino crew members of a luxury cruise ship that stalled while sailing the Norwegian Sea during a storm are all safe. Aside from the crew members, no Filipino passengers were reported on board. The VIZCAYA arrived at the port on Sunday, a day after it sent out a Mayday signal when it stalled in rough waters. Passengers and crew were airlifted to safety due to stormy weather. Meanwhile, a police officer who had gone absent without leave was arrested for child rape and acts of lasciviousness. NCRPO Chief Guillermo Eleazar said Patrolman Johnny Ocampo was apprehended at a resort in General Niño, ECIJA last March 22. Ocampo was accused of raping his younger stepdaughter and molesting his elder stepdaughter, who were only minors. Eleazar said Ocampo was a wall from 2006. In other news, the Supreme Court invites the public to nominate this year's outstanding judges and clerks of court. The nominees must be court personnel with integrity and moral character, and with proven competence, efficiency, effectiveness, independence of mind, judicial decorum, and knowledge of the law. All nominations should be addressed to the Permanent Secretariat, Society for Judicial Excellence, 2nd floor Supreme Court Annex Building, Padre Faura, Manila, with telephone number 02-525-1301 or through email at judicialexcellence.sec@gmail.com. Deadline for submission of nominations is on May 31, 2019. All requirements and accomplished awards forms must be received by the Secretariat on or before June 29. The award ceremonies will be held on September 19, 2019. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Bench Bondo.
Still to come, the Philippine Army is tracing the source of the medicines worth almost 300,000 pesos seized from communist rebels in Negros Occidental. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ito ang Duterte on Duty. Ulat sa ginagawa ng Presidente.
March 8, Biyernes, Negros Occidental. Ipinamahagi ni Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte mga Certificate of Land Ownership Award sa mahigit 2,000 magsasaka ng Barangay Kauswagan sa Sagay City.
For the remaining 3 years na ako, napamang ko'y 3 years, putong yun na ako atag sa mga tao. Ang una na akong targeton, ang gobyerno, yuta sa gobyerno. Huwag mo na kapuslanan. Kaya mga bukid yung nagbawa, except for the military reservation, madako kayo ng ilang area. Wala man das bukid. So nga na po kasi ihatag na. Ihatag na sa tao, kaya muna yung problema na ito.
March 11, Lunes, Malacanang. Itinaas ng Pangulo ang rangko ng ilang opisyal mula sa Presidential Security Group at 250th Presidential Airlift Wing. Pinarangalan din niya ang mga katangi-tanging kababaihan sa awarding ceremony ng Outstanding Women in Law Enforcement and National Security of the Philippines. March 13, Miyerkules, Isabela. Ginawaran ni Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ng Order of Lapu-Lapu Rank of Kampilan ang 5 sundalong nasugatan sa mga engkwentro kontra Abu Sayyaf at New People's Army. Nakidalamhati rin siya sa pamilya ng mga nasawing sundalo sa madugong sagupaan. March 14, Huwebes, Davao City. Nakipagpulong ang Pangulo sa National at Regional Peace and Order Council kasama ang AFP at PNP. Dito ibinulgar ng Pangulo ang pangalan ng mga politikong sangkot di umano sa illegal na droga.
There can never be a valid argument to deny the public, the people of the Philippines at large, to know who are the officials who should not be there in their office. In this particular case now, those who are involved in the deadly name of drug trafficking.
Ako po si Secretary Martin Andanar. At ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
21 cities and municipalities will benefit from the new emergency vehicles donated by the Japanese government to the Bureau of Fire Protection. During the turnover ceremony at the BFP National Headquarters in Quezon City, Japanese Ambassador Koji Haneda expressed hope the vehicles would not only serve as a steady channel of support for BFP personnel on the ground, but also a concrete reminder that BFP has a close ally in Japan. The latest donation, consisting of 14 ambulances, 6 pumpers, and 2 rescue trucks, is on top of the 54 emergency vehicles the Japanese government donated in the Visayas and Mindanao since 2014. The donation is part of the Japanese government's Japanese grant assistance for grassroots human security projects. In his speech, Haneda said Tokyo would aim to extend every assistance it could possibly give to help Manila in strengthening its institutional capabilities and become better equipped. The donation follows the recent signing of the grants worth 41.78 million pesos under Japan's GGP on Friday. The projects are focused on improving education, health, and agriculture across the country. Philippine-made steel has penetrated the Canadian market as Steel Asia Manufacturing Corporation began shipping reinforcing bars or rebars to the North American country. Steel Asia said this is the first export of the company to Canada, with the first rebar order reaching 10,000 metric tons amounting to $6 million. Steel Asia is the only company in the Philippines to hold the UK Certification Authority for reinforcing steel bars, or known as UK CARES. It hopes to raise the reputation of Philippine manufacturing by ensuring that their products are at par with the best in the world. Flag carrier Philippine Airlines system upgrade was successful with the introduction of improved services. According to PAL spokesperson Shelo Villaluna, the airline has successfully migrated to its new Amadeus Althea Suite passenger services system. All direct channels such as internet booking engine, ticketing offices, travel agent partners, and contact centers are now utilizing this new system. Passengers can now book their seats, buy tickets, check in, get boarding passes, rebook, reroute, or refund their tickets online. This will take effect in the new system starting March 26. Cebu Archbishop Jose Palma has welcomed the delegates to the upcoming National Youth Day 2019 on April 23 to 28. In a video message, Palma expressed hope for a peaceful, memorable, and spiritually fruitful gathering. He urged the faithful to pray like the Blessed Virgin Mary that they may realize their roles as servants of God. The National Youth Day 2019 is organized by the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines through the Episcopal Commission on Youth. More than 10,000 youths are expected to attend the NYD 2019 that will be held in Cebu for the first time since the activity was conceived in 1986. The National Irrigation Administration, or NAIA, vows to ensure enough water for farms in Bulacan and Pampanga. In Negros Occidental, the Philippine Army is tracing the source of the medicines worth almost 300,000 pesos seized from communist rebels. More on this and other stories from the provinces. From Janice Cave.
In Bulacan, rice farmers are assured of irrigation water supply as the National Irrigation Administration, or NIA, started releasing water to its service areas in Bulacan and Pampanga on January 9 until May 15. However, if the water level at the dam reaches the critical 180-meter level, the irrigation supply to the Bulacan and some parts of Pampanga's farmlands is automatically cut off to preserve the dam's water for distribution to the water concessionaires of MWSS. In Negros Occidental, the Philippine Army's 303rd Infantry Battalion is tracing the source of the medicines worth almost 300,000 pesos seized from communist rebels in Escalante City. Battalion Commander Brigadier General Benedict Arevalo said they are investigating the source and how these huge volume of medicines reached the NPA. The seized medicines included branded over-the-counter medicines. Arevalo said the communist rebels may be planning to distribute the medicines as the NPA celebrates its anniversary. In Davao City, Germany's Markus Röhrli is the new champion in the men's pro division, while Czech Republic's Radka Kalefeld retained her women's pro crown in the 2019 Alveo Ironman 70.3 that started and ended at the Azuela Cove. Röhrli, who is a first-timer in the Philippines, outpaced Australia's three-time Ironman world champion Craig Alexander and bronze repeater Tim Van Berkel. Meanwhile, Filipino standout August Benedicto topped the Asian elite for the fifth time by finishing 6th overall. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Up next, over 1,000 promoted police personnel take their oath in Camp Crame, and Baguio City is hosting a food fair where tourists can enjoy the best of Cordillera cuisine. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Magandang araw. Narito na naman ang inyong Bureau of Fire Protection upang magbigay ng mga paalala.
Ugaliing maglinis ng bahay 2 hanggang 3 beses sa isang linggo upang maiwasan ang sunog at anumang panganib. Pangunahing sanhi ng mga sunog ay ang overloading, butas o gasgas sa mga wires, maluwag na switch o receptacles, overheated na mga wires, dumi at alikabok sa loob ng mga outlet o maging ang mga mantika na maaaring pumasok sa loob nito. Maging mapagmatsyag, ang mga sumusunod ay ilan sa mga palatandaan ng mga maaaring pagmulan ng sunog. Patay sinding ilaw, mga sparks na nanggagaling sa mga koneksyon, pag-init ng wire, plug at ng outlet, ang pangangamoy sunog sa tuwing isasaksak ang mga appliances, kulay sunog at pangingitim ng mga switch o saksakan, ang palagiang pag-trip at pag-usok ng mga circuit breakers. Ang biglang pagbalik ng kuryente matapos ang mahabang brownout ay maaaring magdulot ng overvoltage, lalo na kung naiwanang bukas ang inyong mga linya. Palagiang inspeksyonin ang mga hose ng inyong mga LPG upang malaman kung ito ay butas o gasgas na. Siguraduhing nakasara ang regulator ng inyong mga tangke pagkatapos magluto, bago matulog o umalis ng ating mga bahay.
Ligtas na Pilipinas ang ating hangad, sunog ay nakamamatay, huwag maging biktima.
Motorcycle riders are opposing President Duterte's new law requiring the installation of larger front and rear motorcycle plates due to safety reasons. But the government says there is nothing to worry about as it addresses the bigger issue of crimes involving motorcycles. Will installing large plates help fight crime? Let's find out in today's Boses ng Masa.
Parang hindi naman kasi kahit malaki man yan o maliit, kung gagawa pa rin yung mga masasamang tao, magagawa pa rin nilang krimen dahil kriminal na nga sila eh. Kaso lang, para sa akin, ayaw ko talaga na maging malaki ang plaka dahil abala talaga sa lalo na sa mga sa harap. Wala namang yung ibang motor, wala namang may ibang mapaglagyan.
Para sa akin, hindi pabor kasi wala tayong paglalagyan, lalo na sa unahan. Siguro hindi rin kasi ang mga diskriminasyon yung mga kriminal, ang daming mga paraan, di ba?
Para sa akin, hindi yun ang tamang solusyon. Kung ako man yung gagawa ng kalokohan, hindi ako gagamit ng sarili kong plaka. Dahil alam ko na malaki, madali makikita ng ibang tao.
Sa tingin ko po hindi. Kasi sa amin kasi, mas delikado sa amin yung malaki yung plaka. Kasi lalo pag sa harap. Kasi may posibilidad na matuling kami. Kunyari po, takbo kami ng 60 hanggang 70. Siyempre, mamaya, baka lumipad. Hindi kami yung tatamaan nun. O kaya, angkas namin. Kung gagawin nilang katulad sa Thailand, sticker lang. Mas pabor ako dun, sticker.
About 1,029 newly promoted police personnel took their oath at Camp Crame. The number consisted of commissioned and non-commissioned officers, including lateral entrance or professionals with special skills. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde led the oath-taking and donning ceremony during this morning's flag ceremony. Albayalde reminded the newly promoted officers to serve as models to other personnel and serve with loyalty and integrity. In our foreign news, aircraft manufacturer Boeing could face charges for failing to maintain safety standards, particularly those of the Boeing 737 MAX. The firm could face lawsuits for disabling key safety features of the 737 MAX. The two Boeing 737 MAX 8 jets that crashed in Ethiopia and Indonesia lacked two safety features in their cockpits that the aircraft manufacturer charges extra for, but could have helped the pilot detect erroneous readings. The optional safety features are currently only installed if the airline pays for the add-ons. All Boeing 737 MAX aircraft around the world have been grounded after two deadly crashes in less than 5 months, killed over 330. The San Miguel Beermen have secured their spot at the top 6 of the PBA Philippine Cup after beating the Alaska Aces 114-96. The Beermen recovered from their 10-point deficit at the third quarter and sustained their lead onward. Alex Cabagnot exploded for 31 points, while Christian Start-Hardinger came through with 23 markers in his first game after his injury. Chris Banquero fired 22 points to pace Alaska, which also drew double digits from Sonny Thos, Noy Baclao, Jeron Teng, and Carl Brian Cruz. Meanwhile, Northport Batang Pier finally got a win after a long slide by mauling Talk and Text Tropang Texters 109-83. Stanley Pringle led Northport, which moved up to 3 wins and 6 losses with 27 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Don Troliano put up 15 points for TNT, which was denied a chance to finish at the top 2 standings. The Cordillera region is home to a number of native dishes which speak of the uniqueness of its highland culture. Baguio City is hosting a food fair where tourists can enjoy the best of Cordilleran cuisine. Here's our report.
Foodies will have a chance to try out Philippine Highland delicacies at the Mangantaku Cordillera Food Fair to be held April 8 to 14 in Baguio City. The food fair will showcase indigenous cuisine from Baguio and the rest of the region for tourists to enjoy. It also aims to showcase the cooking talents of the indigenous peoples. The Cordillera region is known for its highland coffee, red mountain rice, tapoy or rice wine, and even exotic dishes like pinikpikan or native chicken soup, etag or local smoked ham, and pinuneg or blood sausage. DOT Cordillera OIC Jovita Ganongan says Cordilleran traditional cuisine is passed down from one generation to the next to preserve and express their cultural identity. She says Filipinos should embrace heritage through food as it is portal into our culture. Dishes from the different provinces in the region have a special place in the culture to which it belongs and is special to those who prepare it. Baguio City received a total of 1.5 million tourists in 2017, living up with its tag as one of the leading tourist destinations. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice CAVITE.
Weather Bureau Pag-asa says the El Niño phenomenon is expected to be felt until August. According to Pag-asa, the dry spell period is 50 to 60% likely to be extended from its earlier forecasted end in June. As of March 19, the following areas are experiencing dry spell are Luzon, Abra, Benguet, Ifugao, Kalinga, Apayao, Mountain Province, Pangasinan, Isabela, Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino, Bataan, Nueva ECIJA, Pampanga, Tarlac, Zambales, Aurora, Metro Manila, Batangas, Cavite, Laguna, Rizal, Marinduque, Albay, Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Masbate, Sorsogon, Visayas, Antique, Capiz, GUIMARAS, ILOILO, NEGROS, OCCIDENTAL, Negros Oriental, SIQUIJOR, Biliran, Eastern Samar, Leyte, Northern Samar, Western Samar, Mindanao, Bukidnon, Camiguin, Lanao del Norte, Misamis Oriental, Davao del Sur, Davao Occidental, South Cotabato, North Cotabato, Sarangani, Sultan Kudarat, Agusan del Norte, Dinagat Islands, Surigao del Norte, Basilan, and Lanao del Sur. Despite this, Pag-asa clarified that the country would still experience 1 or 2 typhoons until June and up to 4 by September, as warmer climate is felt in the Pacific Ocean. Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's another look at today's biggest stories.
The AFP says local peace talks are effective as more rebels surrenders to the government. Pag-asa says a dry spell brought about by El Niño may last until August. The Senate and House begin discussions towards the passage of the proposed 2019 budget. And Baguio City is hosting a food fair where tourists can enjoy the best of Cordilleran cuisine.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags on all our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Rom Dulfo. Good day.